Shalom and welcome to the weekend edition of the Daily Dose of Hebrew. We're starting a new chapter today with a very easy verse. This will probably be one of the shortest videos we've ever done together because our first verse is very easy. But at the end of chapter 9, where the Lord had brought such a long and very heavy condemnation against his people, and then calling them back to think about what it really means to know him and to go find their boasting and glory in him and in him alone. Chapter 10 is going to open on a slightly different topic, but it's related because the problem is the idolatry, especially the idolatry in the heart of the people. And this verse is the introduction to a whole chapter, at least the first 16 verses, where it's going to call the people to really reflect about who God is and how different he is from all the idols in the surrounding nations around them, and how foolish it is to go lean in the direction of these other idols. In that respect, not this verse, but the rest of the chapter is going to be very similar to what you see in other passages, such as Isaiah 44, other verses in Isaiah as well, but especially in Isaiah 44, there's a long section, or in Psalm 115, about the foolishness of making and constructing an idol with one's hands, then bowing down to it. But this verse is just the introductory verse, so you should have no trouble with it. Let's go ahead and read it in Hebrew, and as we get going here. Shem'u et hadabar asher diber Adonai alechem bet Yisrael. So here we have just a good old imperative, IMPV, and it's going to be a 2MP, obviously a cal from our verb shema. So here, et hadabar. Here's your direct object marker. We're used to seeing that, especially with a defined direct object. And here's our article right here with the patak and the dagesh. You know all this stuff, I assume. So here, the word which Yahweh diber. So this is just a perfect. It's going to be a 3MS. And it's a PL because this verb is usually almost always found in the PL. So yeah, good signs of a PL with the hirek over here and a doubling in the beit. That's a hard dagesh or a strong dagesh, which the Lord has spoken, but often when he has spoken, its results are hanging right out there in front of you. And so a lot of translations will take this as a present, which the Lord speaks. And then alechem, so here's al preposition with our suffix. This is going to be a 2MP suffix, the chem, or the echem, if you want, like that. But this is not el, which would be to, or just a simple lamed. This is al, which usually has a little more of a judgmental idea. So this is upon, or concerning. So it has a little more of a negative connotation to it than a simple to with either one of these prepositions, which the Lord is speaking concerning you, O house of Israel. This is bait, but it's in the construct state. So that takes this from Beit Yisrael, O house of Israel. Now, what is the Lord going to say? Well, it's going to be one of the longest passages in Jeremiah, where he launches this diatribe against the idols. But it's also going to be one of the passages which lifts up God and his unique glory in an incredible way as a message to the entire world around them as well. So, that's an easy verse today. Let's hide our work and look at two translations real quickly. First of all, the ESV, hear the word that the Lord speaks to you, O house of Israel. Nothing too unusual about that. And then the Revised English Bible. This is a revision of the New English Bible. So this comes from overseas by Britain. Listen, Israel. So instead of house of Israel, they're moving that over to the beginning. Listen, Israel, to these words that the Lord has spoken against you. So they make this as more of an English perfect, and this is more of an English present. I understand both of these real well. Actually, this one picks up the perfect sense probably a little bit better because it's something that the Lord has spoken, but the effects of it are hanging out there now, which is why the ESV picks up the speaks. And notice the difference here between to you and against you. Again, al can have either one of those, but I would lean a little more toward this one here because it's a judgment that's going to be coming. Well, easy introduction. So check back with us soon as we continue working through at least the first 16 verses of Jeremiah chapter 10 in the weekend edition of the Daily Dose of Hebrew. Shalom.